back. Skippers presented by Owners Box Fantasy Sports. Today's segment, buy low, sell high targets for your teams in fantasy baseball. It's almost the end of buy low, sell high. I think this is either the last one. It got hard this week trying to find some targets. It's either this week or maybe if we get good views on this one, a lot of likes. If we get how many likes, will we do this again next week for the final episode?
If we get over 100 likes, we'll do this video next week again.
Like
so if you want another buy low, sell high, make sure you like the video because if it gets over 100 likes, we'll do another one for next week.
We'll do a deep dive, maybe a couple players for the end to target. Maybe we'll do
maybe it'll be a little bit of a different layout structure, but it'll be something about targeting players, something surrounding trading.
We'll do it. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Cord. Play Owner's Box. We have a new code. We have new codes if you go on Twitter and Instagram, but our code is Skippers5.
Yes.
Get you into a contest. I saw there's a $1,000 guaranteed prize pool or something like that. That could have been a lie, but that's a lot of money, and you should be playing Owner's Box. Weekly fantasy sports salary cap game. Jer, you're buy low.
So, like Avery was saying, there's not a lot of meat and potatoes on these picks, right? It's more based off situation.
We don't want to use people twice.
No, yeah, we're trying to avoid using people twice because unless there's a huge change and we're changing them from buy low to sell high. But I have probably the guy, one of us had to pick him. Let's be honest. We talked about him on Monday Mailbag. Go check out that video. Great video again. Cody Bellinger. Worst hitter in the last month.
Oh, it is buy low. Okay, I saw your sheet. I was like, what are we doing?
I know. I always mess that up because I put my sell high first every time.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
I don't know why. Cody Bellinger, worst hitter in the last month for average, 110. I would offer something, right? Like T-Mac was talking about dropping him.
And we're in a 10-team shallow league. And T-Mac's like,
I do have a share of Cody Bellinger in a points league, and my team's actually been like really good in the outfield, so I just haven't really bothered with them. And I'm just like, there are people who just can afford to like wait on him, but guys like T-Mac who are last place, like when you're getting down there, you're literally relying on this guy to be your best player on your team, and that's when you get desperate. So go out there and offer something for Cody Bellinger because the playing time will not decrease. Like, he is their center fielder.
Yeah, you wrote on your sheet great defensively, and I said, why does that have anything to do with it?
To be honest, I did not know Cody Bellinger was a great defender until our very own Sandy Plaschkes had to remind me that apparently he's the best center fielder in the MLB, which he's not. But
you win a Gold Glove?
I think so.
Probably.
If you actually look at his
metrics, were
the
good,
metrics are really good on
gloves.
Bellinger. I didn't believe it until I looked at the metrics, and he is a great defender. But this guy's obviously getting paid a shit ton of money. The injury concerns, I think they're in the past now. He dealt with all those injuries. I sure hope he doesn't get injured again, or else this would be a horrendous year for him, and he would probably slide down to like a 3rd or 4th round pick next year.
Yeah, which would be awesome for us.
Yes, but Dodgers are in contention. Games are heating up. They're not even winning their division. They need Bellinger to perform, so go out there and offer a trade for Bellinger.
What are you going to offer, you think?
Man, this is the real question because you look at a guy like T-Mac, he's almost dropped him. So what would someone actually take? I don't think no one's really going to drop Cody Bellinger, let's be honest.
Or you shouldn't.
You shouldn't, yeah. But
would you rather have, I would rather have every person I was about to mention.
Like who?
Like Brian Reynolds, Mark Canha.
I'd take Bellinger over Canha, probably.
Like,
I think I said that.
Trent Grisham was my buy low last week. He was my buy low, but I saw him. He hit 7 yesterday, which was not a good sign with Frazier entering that lineup. So maybe you explore something like that, a Cody Bellinger for Trent Grisham, potentially.
I don't know. Just put it in the comments if you have someone on your team that you're
wanting
to part with, maybe.
Like, I would go the lowest possible you think that you can get Bellinger for, and then just seeing what happens.
You also don't want to spit in the other person's face. Like, you can't lowball them. When you get a trade offer and you're like, come on, guys. Like, we're not even on the same page here right away. You don't want to even counter offer anything because the first deal's so bad. So don't spit in his face. But
if you're in, let's say, a 4 outfield roster spot league and you got 5 good outfielders, I'd take my least favorite of those 5 and try and get Bellinger as the guy on the bench instead of that guy in case he just goes off.
Yeah.
Someone you're not starting that's still pretty good.
Yes.
Okay. Drew, you're buy low.
My buy low is Mr. Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox. Last 2 weeks, batting 172 with 0 home runs and 0 stolen bases. Tough July for the guy. He's now day-to-day with a minor wrist injury, so I think right now is probably the time to buy low before your fantasy trade deadline. He can be a key contributor at shortstop, middle infielder, whatever, down the stretch for your fantasy team as the Red Sox try and win over the division from the Rays. This year, he's kind of different than most years for Xander. Higher average, but lower stolen bases, which is kind of
Getting older.
Yeah, getting a bit older. He's been the 8th best shortstop on the season. The 7 that have been better are Tatis, Turner, Bichette, Tim Anderson, Marcus Semien, Brandon Crawford, and Javi Baez. I would have Xander at 4th the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take at all.
No, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
Anderson, Semien, Crawford have been quite a bit better actually over the last
Crawford's crazy that he's
month
up
and a
there.
half.
What a turnaround.
So if you could
Crazy.
get any of those guys straight for Xander, or even a little bit extra with Xander, I would try and make that move.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
call.
I love
Xander
Bogaerts.
struggled the whole month of July, I think. And if he struggled like he did in July at early part of the season, I think a lot more people would have been off Xander.
Yeah.
But because he had a strong start to the season, and then now, I think it's a good pick. I like Xander a lot.
I do like him a lot.
I like to expand. One of my favorite players.
My buy low, God, I struggled. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel to try and find these, and I came up with Chris Sale as my buy low. I just traded Trevor Rogers for Chris Sale in the league that I am in first place by half a point over Drew in. My reasoning is the young players are starting to go on innings limits. We've talked about this for a while now, and Chris Sale is starting to ramp up. Could this blow up in my face? Absolutely, 100% this could blow up in my face. But Trevor Rogers was on the IL too. I've traded with a manager who was 7th in our league out of 10. So he's like,
Who had Sale?
JB. So he's like, what the fuck am I going to do with Sale on my IL?
Great point.
And I was like, okay, like I have Trevor Rogers on the 10-day IL. Like I really can't do much with him right now either. So I was like, I'll take a chance on a guy who has 2,000 strikeouts in his career, a career 103 whip. Slider looks gross so far in his rehab appearances. Could he come into the majors this season and go 3 innings, 4 innings, 3 innings, 4 innings his first 4 starts? Yes. Would I be very disappointed? Yes. It could happen. It's the risk you take. But if he comes up and he starts going 6, 7 right away, and he's given up 2 runs, I'm really happy with Chris Sale. And I think Chris Sale's better than Trevor Rogers. So I don't really know. Some of the Brewers guys, I wouldn't do Woodruff Burns, obviously, for Sale. That's a no-brainer. But like maybe Peralta is a guy you'd be looking for Sale too. Guys in that sweet spot where you don't know if they're going to pitch for the rest of the season. The innings are restricted. That's what I'm thinking here.
Yeah.
It's a good call. I like
Pitchers
Sale.
I mean, I just hope he's good, man.
Pitchers like Rogers that are on teams that aren't making the playoffs and have no incentive to.
That's what I said. So, someone DM'd me and was like about Ketel Marte for like Jorge Polanco in an arm, and I said, the thing is, they're both on bad teams, Polanco and Ketel. And I was like, one is pretty healthy and one's not healthy, even though he just started a rehab appearance. Arizona stinks. He's not going to be rushed back to play. He has no incentive really to play the rest of the year. So
One of my buy lows from about a month ago, not looking too good.
Unless he
at this
gets
point, but
unless he gets traded.
yeah, there we go.
yeah, but can you trade injured players?
Yeah. I don't see
if
why
you're looking to
not.
trade Chris Bryant, he's on the IL right now.
Okay. There's something that makes me think that you can't trade in. That made me think, not currently.
Probably
makes me
because
think.
most people just never trade for an injured player.
Maybe that's it. Let us know, injured players, can they be traded? Can they not be traded? Am I an idiot? Jer,
Sell high.
sell high.
So I looked heavily into like the trade deadline and could see if I could at least find one piece to have a buy low, sell high that could be impacted by getting traded. And my sell high is Anthony Rizzo. He has 3 home runs in the last 3 games. He's running right now his highest K percentage of his career and his lowest walk percentage of his career. So that's not a great combo.
No.
He's been so like comfortable. He's been playing around the same players for a long time now with the Chicago Cubs.
Basically handpicked the manager of the team too.
Yes, and like nothing against the guy. I think he's a good guy. He seems like a super nice teammate, but I don't think he's going to have the role that he has right now with the Cubs with the new team he goes to, especially if he goes to a Boston. Like he's going to hit like he's not going to hit at the top of the order. He's going to hit like 6, 7.
He reminds me a lot of like a Mitch Moreland for those other Red Sox
Yeah.
teams. Like
Yeah.
going in like that. Maybe Moreland was better, but
Yeah. Like he's going to be a guy who's
Yeah.
going to be relied upon, like put the ball in play. Like he's always had a good on base percentage, like get on base for us and be a veteran on the team. Like there has been potentially the Brewers, but I don't know if they'll give up enough assets to get him. But I do think the value is super high here before he gets traded to a new team.
You did also write a nice article, so check out the Owner's Box blog.
I have him going to the Red Sox. The Red Sox don't really want him. I posted it in their Reddit, and it seems like they do not want Rizzo.
If the Red Sox are trading for Anthony Rizzo, it's not for the bat, it's for the clubhouse presence, 100%.
Yeah, and they chirped me about that because they already.
said you're-
Well, they have. Well, I said that. Like, you can't. Like, Bobby Dalbec can't be your. I mean, he
playoff
can
first
be your
baseman.
playoff first baseman, but based off what the Tampa Bay Rays just did with Nelson Cruz, like, Red Sox need to make a move. But Anthony Rizzo.
Drew, sell high.
My sell high, I might get some flack for this one, guys. But I got some reasons. And
I like it kind of more as it goes along.
He has been really good.
Gleyber Torres of the New York Yankees. Last 2 weeks, 315, 3 home runs, 4 stolen bases, 13 total runs and RBI. So real hot July for Gleyber Torres. Reviving his fantasy season, where at one point he was the worst batter of all of June in the MLB that had consistent starts.
Hey, Cody Bellinger. Worst in July.
Yes.
Gleyber worst in June. Maybe the boys are going to figure something out here.
The concern here, Trevor Story might get traded to the Yankees, right? Gleyber might not play every game. Or Trevor Story could play outfield like Avery thinks.
I think for sure you can.
We'll see. But it's time to sell high. People might not be interested in trading for Gleyber because of the horrible June and because Trevor Story's coming in. But the thing is, even when he was playing horrible, his roster percentage never dropped below 70%. So
The name value is crazy with
the
him.
name value is crazy. It's not as much as Bellinger, but it's still so high that there's people who are going to see his name in the trade offer and see the recent stats and go, I'll take him, and not think about the Story thing and not think about the horrible June. So there's still some trade equity, and this hot streak really helped him build a little bit back up. So I'm going to trade him for anybody that plays middle infield that you can start. So if it's Jorge Polanco, if it's Dansby Swanson, if it's Jazz Chisholm when he comes back, or even Joey Wendell. I would rather have Joey Wendell
I think I'd agree with that for
for the
sure.
rest of the year. Anything that you can get without dropping him, even though he's hot, I would take it.
I don't.
No, I think that you're right.
I mean, it's
Players
a
you
tough,
mentioned.
it's a tough first look for Gleyber sell high, but once you dive into it, but that's why the people who complain in the comments is a lot of not listening to what we say. It's just like, oh, like this is a bad pick.
Yes.
But I don't. No one wants Gleyber, dude. Like,
Yeah.
well,
Those
I
names-
know
those
if you-
guys.
Those names
true,
are
true.
those names are definitely like feasible. Like, I think that could actually happen. Someone would take that trade.
like Joey Wendell, I think so too.
yeah. Joey Wendell. Yeah.
Okay, this one stinks for me too. Kike Hernandez is my sell high. Last month, 7 homers, 17 RBIs, 276 average. He kills left-handed pitching. This week, I took him in all of my salary cap contests because he was facing 6 left-handed pitchers. But because I struggled to find a player here, this is one of the guys who's been hot recently. AL Player of the Week, I think. Don't think this power surge is really real from Kike. We haven't really seen it ever before in his career, but I don't think we've ever seen if he's played this often. I didn't really look at what he was for the Dodgers, but he seems to be getting way more consistent playing time than ever before. He would kind of platoon a little bit with the Dodgers, but still be in the lineup. I mean, a guy I'd rather want rest of the season is like Alec Boehm. I don't think that's really a hot take. Jonathan Scope, obviously. Jonathan Scope's a step up from Kike for sure. Kike is only like 67% rostered too, so I found it was tough to try and give you this sell high as a guy you could still pick up on your wire in some cases. He was available on our wire in our league, so I'm sorry for this tough sell high, but it's all I got, boys.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I apologize, but Kike, man, I don't really want him. Sell him if you got him.
Jeremy Duran hasn't hurt him as much as I guess we thought.
No, he was hitting. Well, he's hitting. Avery's right. Like, he's hitting so well that they can't even try Jarren Duran at 1 right now. I think they had him at 2 for a couple games.
Yeah, he hasn't hit that well yet, but
And he was sitting against lefties as well. So,
even though he hit 300 against lefties in the minors.
yeah.
Bit of a Red Sox pod today. We got
Yes.
No more
Xander,
AL East.
Kike, Chris Sale, Anthony Rizzo's effect on the Red Sox.
Yeah. So, shout out to Boston.
Shout out to the Red
awesome.
Sox.
Like, comment, subscribe, join the Cord. If you can't get into the Cord, we will send you the link because the link never worked. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time.